Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about this um, supposed leak for the next World of Warcraft expansion. Um, I'm not too sure about it, so let's just talk about this. So, it's called World of Warcraft Cataclysm, or The Cataclysm, I'm guessing. And this is like the whole gist of it. Azeroth has changed completely. Some zones are completely destroyed, some are shattered, some are flooded, some are ripped in half. So, and Orgrimmar is going to be destroyed, and and the gnomes are going to retake Gnomeregan. And Thrall is going to become the next guardian of Tirisfal. Cairn's son, because Cairn is going to die. Because Garrosh is war chief now, because Thrall becomes the guardian of Tirisfal, so Garrosh becomes war chief, and he first political manipulations. Cairn gets painted as a betrayer and is murdered, and then his son becomes the new war chief, or not war chief, leader of the Tauren. And apparently, from what he says, there's going to be Worgen and Goblins as the next two playable races. I mean, Goblins are in the realm of possibility, but Worgen is kind of nonsensical. So he says that we'll be opening up the Greymane Wall, or the Cataclysm will destroy the Greymane Wall, which is the wall in Silverpine that it's currently stopping you from going into Gilneas. And we'll learn that the Worgen have destroyed the kingdom, but over time they found a cure for it that allows them to have their human minds again. I don't know, that sounds a little suspicious. Sounds a little not... just a little odd. For goblins, the goblins we're going to be playing as were slaves of Deathwing. We'll get into the Deathwing stuff later. Yeah, a large group of Deathwing slave goblins become part of the Horde. Just a little weird. Instead of the level cap being 90, it's now 85. And there's going to be underwater zones, newly redone Old World zones, which is like Eastern Kingdoms, Kalimdor. Flying mounts will be usable on Azeroth. Many Old World dungeons are changed completely. Half the point of Cataclysm is to remake old quest lines, eliminating redundancy and giving overall narrative to all players. So, yeah, the world's going to be destroyed and everything's going to really restart. There's going to be... Okay. Underwater cities on the backs of giant sea turtles and whales. Make no mistake, the Old God content is not done, since Netherian and Ashara both have ties to Old Gods. It's clear that the new series-wide antagonists of WoW are the Old Gods. I agree with that, because they have been setting up the Old Gods since Warcraft 3, and they're the only real thing that we haven't taken on completely, aside from the Legion. But I don't think we're ever really going to take on the Burning Legion, like ever, because they're just way too cosmic a force. I think they're gonna save that for like a different game. And he's talking about how this one guy replaces Bane's character in the PTR, the newest PTR patch, which I'm not completely satisfied with how that is. Like, I don't really think that's how it's gonna go. Because Cairn is a major character. You can't just kill him off. They have to really set up something. And here we get into the stuff that kind of makes this completely nonsensical. Like the stuff that makes this really sound dumb. And I don't believe any of this is real. These are the new, instead of adding new classes, they're adding new class race combinations. Human Hunter makes sense, Orc Mage makes no sense, Night Elf Mage makes no sense, Dwarf Mage, that makes sense. Blood Elf Warrior, whatever, that makes sense. Dwarf Shaman, I don't know, with how this is just weird. I don't know, I've never really... See, we play as the Bronzebeard Dwarves, which are the dwarves that live in Ironforge, so I don't know why they'd ever be shamans. Undead Hunter, I don't see undead as hunters. Now this one's the one that's like, this has to be a joke post, because Tauren Paladins and Tauren Priests, like Tauren Priests I can somewhat understand. They could be like the Spirit Walkers from Warcraft 3, right? But a Tauren Paladin makes no sense at all. Neither does a Gnome Priest, or really a Troll Druid. I don't see, like, these last ones are like completely out of left field, make no sense kind of addition. It's level cap, as I said, level 85, apparently, according to this post. And that's because they want you to really... Yeah, they want more room for between expansions until they get to 100 for some reason. I don't know why. It's I guess so it doesn't look as imposing. The two new races, goblins have found themselves washed up upon an island off the coast of the Barrens. Their islands devastated by the Cataclysm. As they strive to recover, they come across an orc captured on an alliance ship and rescue him. The orc turns out to be none other than Thrall himself, and returns to the goblins a place within the horde. I don't know. The goblin stuff makes no sense to me. Neither does this. This doesn't make any sense either. The Cataclysm has cracked open the Greymane Wall, finally revealing what has happened to the kingdom of Gilneas and its citizens. They're all Worgans, apparently. They all become Worgan. Gilneas will make extensive use of the phasing system, much like the Death Knight starting area, to show what happened while the kingdom was cut off from the rest of the world and lead up to present day. Last but not least, Worgans will have two forms and will be able to morph between human form and Worgan one. Players should be able to pick both appearances when they create their character. That's also very suspect. That just doesn't seem like Warcrafty to me. Like, WoW. Playing as a Worgan would be cool, but Worgan are basically just like sort of throwaway, one-off, low-level enemies, you know? They're not like a big, major thing. I don't know, it's odd. I don't know, I could see some merit in it, I guess, with just like Gilneas being taken over, and after all these years they've been Worgan and they figured out a cure to give them their human minds back. I don't know, it's just odd, you know? I don't want them to make Worgan like just big humans, you know, like big wolf humans. I want them to still have like I don't know, it just sort of ruins Worgen for me. Like, Worgen are supposed to be like these feral werewolf creatures that are like a plague that can turn anybody into another one of them. It just seems like you're kind of going against that whole idea by making them just humans, but they're wolf people. They're going to be revamping all of Azeroth. This also seems like completely out of left field to me. Like, this doesn't seem right. It just seems completely wacky. Ajara is going to be a new zone. They're actually going to add something to it. It's just been an unfinished mess for all this time. And the Barrens will be split into 2 different zones. I could see that as a plus, the Barrens being in 2 different zones. It's just large and it'll kill Barrens chat for sure, but you know, might be worth it. They'll add flying. I don't think they'll ever do this, honestly. It just seems out of the realm of possibility. Hyjal is now going to be a zone. Gilneas, of course, is the Worgen starting zone. And Oldham as a dungeon. Whatever. Those, I mean, they had to really touch upon all these zones at some point. We're redesigning every single dungeon. Ragnaros will be back. I don't see that happening. Here's a really weird and odd stuff. Deathwing and Ajara as like the 2 main villains of the expansion. Ajara I could see. Deathwing though? Yeah, that just seems unrealistic. He's basically like a throwaway character from Warcraft 2, so I don't know why you'd bring him back. He died, didn't he?